October 1929. $200 billion. Gone. No war, no virus, just paper wealth turned to ash. Millionaires woke up rich, went to bed broke. People in tuxedos lined up for soup. So, what the hell happened? And is it happening again? Let's rewind. Back to the party, before the fall. (1922). The war is over. The mustaches are weird. And America? It's vibing. Factories stop cranking out tanks. Now it's toasters, vacuums, icebox killing refrigerators. New York's skyline stretches taller every month, like it's showing off. And jazz music? It's basically the Wi-Fi of the 1920s. Loud, confusing, and somehow everywhere. The economy is roaring. People believe it'll last forever. Trust me, prosperity is permanent. And the engines behind it? They're humming. Henry Ford's new assembly line tech shrinks car production from 12 hours to 90 minutes. Model Ts roll off like candy. Roads get paved. Gas stations pop up like mushrooms. Entire towns revolve around cars. The more they build, the more people spend. The more people spend, the more they borrow. Oil, steel, rubber, real estate, everything rides the same high. Radios become the must-have gadget. By 1929, 10 million households own one. That means 10 million people now hear the same soap jingle and the same stock tip. This radio will change your life. How? You'll know what soap your neighbors use. But while cities are dancing, the countryside is quietly falling apart. Farmers who had boomed during World War I now watch prices collapse. So they borrow bigger tractors, more land, deeper debt. The new tech helps them grow, just enough to go bankrupt faster. Meanwhile, in the cities, a dangerous new pastime takes hold. Borrowing to buy things no one can afford. Buy now, pay later takes over everything. Want a radio? Finance it. A car? Finance that too. A company that makes soap for dogs? Definitely finance it. You're approved. You didn't ask what I earn. Doesn't matter. You breathe. That's enough. Banks offer installment plans to basically anyone with a pulse. It's like Vegas, but everyone thinks they're winning. And then there's Wall Street. Wall Street becomes Disneyland for grown-ups with margin loans. You put $10 down and you get $100 of stock. The other $90? You'll figure it out later. Probably. I made a killing in socks. Wait, I mean stocks. Still cutting hair though? Yeah, but spiritually, I'm Rockefeller. Barbers give stock tips. Shoeshine boys recommend railroad bonds. Hotel bellhops pitch pencils as the next big thing. Between 1924 and 1929, the Dow quadruples. Nobody cares what a company actually does, only that the stock goes up. Why did you buy it? Because it's going up. But what does the company do? Who cares? It's going up. Even companies get weird. They build holding companies that own other holding companies that own absolutely nothing. It's just vibes, layered nonsense, and everyone cheers. A few people try to sound the alarm. A crash is coming. Wall Street? They buy more stock and tell Roger to go touch grass. Jazz drowns him out. Money rains from balconies. and no one checks if the floor is about to give way. Here's the thing about bubbles. They all follow the same formula. Step 1. Something new appears. Cars, radios, AI, crypto. Something that feels like the future. Step 2. Credit floods in. Easy money makes it feel risk-free. Step 3. Everyone becomes a genius. Barbers, bellboys, TikTok bros. Step 4. Prices stop being about value and start being about vibes. Step 5. Someone asks, "Wait, why is this worth anything?" And that's when it pops. But hey, it's 1929. What could possibly go wrong? October 29th, 1929. Black Tuesday. The day the stock market didn't just fall. It performed a flawless 10-meter dive into concrete. The Dow collapses. Ticker tape machines lag behind. Phones ring non-stop. Sell everything! Even your vest? Everything except my Patagonia vest! It's all I have left! Traders faint. One has a heart attack, recovers, checks his portfolio, and has another. In one day, $14 billion vanishes. In today's money, over $200 billion. Outside, crowds gather. People cry. People whisper. Some just stare at the pavement, wondering how a nation tripped over its own shoelaces. The party is over. And now the margin loans come due. You borrowed $90 to buy a $100 stock, but now it's worth $30. The broker calls. "We need the other $70, right now." "I just lost everything." "Cool, where's our money?" Paper millionaires evaporate. Rich on Monday, bankrupt by Thursday. And behind the scenes, another crack widens. The banks. Marble floors, gold lettering, fancy pens on chains. But beneath the polish, bad bets. Banks had loaned heavily to stock gamblers. Now, those gamblers are broke. And so, one by one, the banks collapse. Everyone stay calm. Your money is completely, okay, not completely safe. People sprint to withdraw savings. Lines stretch for blocks. Some scream, others beg. But it's too late. The money is gone. The banks had gambled it away. There's no SEC, no deposit insurance, no brakes. Wall Street polices itself, like asking a lion to babysit your chickens. And the cracks spread. American banks demand repayments from Europe. Europe, still duct-taped together after World War I, buckles. Factories in Manchester shut down. Banks in Berlin implode. Global trade collapses by 50% in 3 years. The Roaring '20s didn't just end. They crashed into a brick wall while holding everyone's retirement plan. The crash was only the start. By 1933, 1 in 4 Americans is unemployed. That's 13 million people. Behind every stat, a real life. He passed out again. He's not sick. He hasn't eaten in 2 days. Families line up for bread, not for hours, for entire mornings. Even former bankers, dressed in faded suits, wait quietly with the unemployed. And some don't wait. Suicides skyrocket. Newspapers stop printing obituaries. They can't keep up. There's no space left on page 3. Move him to classified. Savings? Gone. Homes? Foreclosed. Hope? out of stock. Meet James, factory worker, Detroit. Saved $500 over 3 years, enough to start buying a house. His bank collapses in 1929. The money's gone. No refund, no bailout. By 1931, he's in a breadline. By 1933, he's living in a Hooverville, makeshift shacks built from scraps and desperation. They were named after the president who kept promising, "Prosperity is just around the corner." Hoovervilles spread across America. Shanty towns spring up in parks, riverbanks, abandoned rail yards. Kids grow up in tents. They aren't temporary shelters. They become entire zip codes of collapse. And then, nature decides to help. The Dust Bowl hits. Black blizzards sweep the Great Plains. Crops die. Soil vanishes. Farms turn to deserts. Thousands flee west, chasing rumors of work in California. "I spent 30 years growing wheat. Now I can't even grow weeds." And still, no federal safety net, no unemployment insurance, no welfare. If you fall all the way. Behind every unemployment number was a family that skipped dinner. Behind every foreclosure, a kid who had to change schools. These weren't just economics. They were lives, cracked by a system that had no backup plan. And the hardest part? Most of them did nothing wrong. It wasn't just a crash. It was a system built on dreams, lies, and leverage, finally coming due. And here's the scary part. Replace margin loans with leverage apps. Replace radio stocks with AI wrappers. Replace holding companies with SPACs. And you start to realize the floor still creaks. In 1929, people thought they were in control, that new tech would carry them forever, that the party would never end. They were wrong, not because they were stupid, but because they were human. Crashes don't start with numbers. They start with stories. But at the heart of every crash is the same human reflex: fear of missing out, belief without proof, and silence when things feel too good. So if you're watching this and thinking, "We'd never fall for that again," maybe ask yourself, what are you buying today just because it's going up?